believe in what you believe in if you were the only one who believed it. Kanye West.
I'd rather be hated for what I am than loved for who I'm not. Kurt Cobain.
We were all humans until race disconnected us, religion separated us, politics divided us, and wealth classified us. Joyner Lucas.
Taco Tuesday! LeBron James.
Good morning. My name is Juan Garibay, and I'm a sixth form boarder from Mexico City. I'm going to ask a question, and I want everyone to take a moment to think about it. Who are you? Everyone got it? All right, let's move on. When I first came to Westminster, I could answer this question with 3 simple words. I'm the Mexican. This might be a gross simplification, but that is basically how I saw myself. Let me go back to the beginning. I was born in Mexico City, and I've lived there my whole life. I studied in the American School Foundation, or ASF, so yeah, that's probably why my English is above mediocre. Skip to the winter of my freshman year at ASF, or as my friends and I call it, El Hoyo, which literally means the hole. I started looking for study abroad opportunities, and almost every single person that I talked to told me not to go to the US. And stick with me here, the reason was just Trump. Now, don't get me wrong. I respect people who support President Trump because I believe that everyone is entitled to their own opinion. Trump, however, has made immigration less inviting for all, especially for people from Mexico. Still, despite some people's concerns, I decided to apply to schools in the US. I remember getting an email from Mr. Gomez one December night. He told me all about Westy and encouraged me to apply. When I read that email, I got a weird feeling that I was going to come here. And guess what? I was right. And I'm glad I did. If I'm being honest, I was very nervous about coming here. A privileged and overprotected mi rey from Mexico City, studying in Simsbury, Connecticut. If you don't know what mi rey is, it's basically the Spanish term for every boy from Darien, Connecticut. As much as we like to deny it, we all have hidden biases against people that are different from us. I'm not going to tell you that people from Mexico don't have stereotypes about gringos. And if you don't know what gringos are, you live under a rock. You also cannot tell me that the US doesn't have stereotypes about Mexicans. But driving up that hill that first day, I kept saying to myself, just break that stereotype. I'll name out some examples. Yes, I play soccer, and I love it, but my main sport is actually water skiing. I know there's someone in the back that just went, wait, they have lakes in Mexico? Yeah, I play the guitar, but I'm not a mariachi. And yes, I speak fluent Spanish. It is the official language of Mexico. I've been asked all these questions and more. For people back home, all of these comments would have been taken as a big offense. Another example of the great ignorance of people in the US. But for me, it is different. I do not take offense to these comments. Sometimes they actually make me laugh. I realize that these questions are not, and have never been a way to make fun of my country. In reality, the people that ask me stuff like this just have never been exposed to anything like Mexico. They have never experienced the food, or the music, or the beaches, or the many traditions that we celebrate. Alright, so back to my question. Who are you? I remember one of my Spanish classes last year. Our assignment was to make a list of adjectives that describe us. And then, we have to make a list of adjectives that describe the person that we present to the world. I know it sounds weird, but if you think about it, it actually makes sense. We all try to fit in, to be like the people around us. It is human nature to try to fit in. A few weeks ago, I watched a documentary about a high school experiment in the 80s called The Wave. Basically, a teacher tricked most of the students in the school to create a national movement very similar to the Nazis. And by very similar, I mean the exact copy, just with different ideologies. You're probably thinking that I'm making this up, but students actually followed the movement. Ron Jones, the teacher who created this experiment, said that even he got carried away. That feeling of superiority and of fitting in that students got from being part of the wave made it surprisingly easy for Jones to manipulate them. I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of scary to watch. For me, fitting in here at Westminster was never really an option, since I am, and have been since my first year here, the only student from Mexico. So instead, I have learned to embrace being different, and just went with it. I presented who I really was, with no intent in trying to hide my true personality. And that's what I want you to take out of this chapel talk. Just be yourself. I know it's cliche, but it really is true. If you truly want to find who you are, embrace all that makes you, you. Gracias.
In honor of Hispanic Heritage Month, OLA members will now be singing Una Lady Como Tú.
Que buscas a alguien que te vuelva a enamorar, que no te haga sentir mal. Sé que hubo otro que no supo valorar lo que tenías para dar.
Sé que tal vez te hizo sufrir, te hizo llorar, te supo lastimar. Sé que tal vez ya sabes de mí, voy detrás de ti. No te voy a mentir, voy buscando una lady como tú la quiero así. Quiero que te enamores como estoy yo de ti. A casa enviar de flores y en tu nombre escribir 1000 canciones de amores para que pienses en mí como yo pienso
Yo
en
quiero
ti.
hablar, quiero hipnotizarte, una estrella traerte, hasta cielo bajar, cantarte al oído y ver tu piel arenizar, llevarte lentamente donde estemos tú y aparte, y si te provoco, te beso la boca, sueño con tocarte, quitarte la ropa, no confundas mi intención por decir cosas locas, te quiero pero tu cuerpo también me provoca, poderte complacer.